All right, so today's video. We've got a gold 5 support player. And here's what they want to know. Should they have stayed on the hero that they were on? Apparently, this isn't a game where they stay on one hero. It's a game where they play about 5 different supports. And 2, they want to know, is it their fault? Well, we'll find out. They also want to know if they should stick on one of the supports. I'm curious to see why there's hero swaps, because you always hear about, you could go to this hero, let's just play every hero. Mystery Heroes Tuesday, right? We'll find out on this video. Sub to the YouTube if you haven't. Back to you, me. Thank you so much, me. I appreciate that. Let's see what we can do here. All right, let's find out. Kiriko to start. Not a bad choice. I feel like Kiriko's always like a safe pick on any map. Like you can start Kiriko, and then you kind of see what happens. You know what I mean?
Draw strength from nature.
So far, this is just the other team has space. They're playing aggressive. Like, I'm not too worried about what I'm seeing so far. This is just what's going to happen. Here we go. We're watching. We're chilling. Good chat's missing. I'm just making sure everybody's paying attention. Look at that. Now it's there. Not bad.
Canceled. You take a lot of damage, huh?
Yeah, you got pranked. So far, this is fine. I don't really... I imagine we'll see more of the hero swapping later on, but so far, I mean, this is Kiriko gameplay, taking high ground a little bit, playing angles, not really able to do as much damage as you would like, because your teammates are just finding ways to maximize how much damage they take, which is always a treat when you're playing support. Sometimes you want to be able to do that damage you hear about, but then like at the same time you can't, because your teammates are like, what can I do to take the maximum amount of damage by also making it a slight inconvenience to the point where like you can maybe not heal me, but you pretty much have to, so good luck. Nice shot so far. Good job. That was also a Ramatra we just watched, that's for sure. I'm not going to go too much into like, oh, you could have went here, went there, only because your teammates are playing all over the place. So sometimes, and you'll see it when I play rank, sometimes it just turns into a deathmatch, and some of that teamwork aspect can change a little bit, sometimes. And like going high ground there wouldn't even, like going up to the high ground above you, you just would have ran into 4 of them. So right now you're in that deathmatch mode. Your whole team is. Nice shots. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. You watch the streams all week? Heck yeah. Welcome, welcome. I like what I'm seeing so far. Eagle VOD? No. Bit too aggressive, but I'm still okay with it. Like, it's like, here's the problem is sometimes when your teammates are playing the way that they are, you don't even know what's happening. So when you like teleport in, you're expecting like a different scenario, and then it turns into that. So like, obviously next time I would not recommend to teleport into a Ramatra who is just like swinging on your team. You know what I mean? Or like punching on your team. But like, sometimes they're gonna happen in the game. You're gonna do that. You know what? You did that once here. You know, just try to not teleport into the Ramatra. So why does everyone think it's an ego VOD? Because I think sometimes like, and I mean obviously like what we do when we look at the VODs is I generally don't watch the ones where they went. You know, if like the description's like, hey, this was a 6-minute push game. I went 15-0. Don't watch the first 3 minutes. Like that would be an ego VOD, and we generally don't even like spectate those. So most of the time when you're like, oh, ego VOD, like a lot of time it won't be an ego VOD. Occasionally we'll get one where like, don't get me wrong, if somebody submitted a game where they had 85 in limbs, I'd like to see that. You know, granted, like obviously if like they're in that rank, you know what I mean? Only L too long, yeah. This L should be used like now. You could have probably had 2 ultimates by now. I would have probably used it on the high ground a little bit more aggressively. We were talking about other stuff during that. I probably would have used it a little bit more aggressively at that point, but yeah. So far, your Kiriko has been, like, you've been playing fine. Which I'm also confused as to why you hero swap a ton then. Because so far, I don't think, like, your Kiriko has really been this issue. This has been more of, like, your teammates have tried to deathmatch their way through second point, and it hasn't worked. So now you need a little bit more team play. That's how I'm seeing it. You think most of the time you use your rush, you do it to keep your teammates alive? Well, I can give you a little bit of, like, feedback on that, because I talked about it before. Remember that your Kitsune rush also benefits your teammates greatly. So sometimes when you're waiting for that perfect moment to save your teammates with a heal, sometimes being really proactive with your Kiriko ultimate will actually lead to better results because your teammates can then follow up on that play when they're not at low HP, and they get their cooldowns quicker, you get your cooldowns quicker, the other team has to back up. If the other team, like, it requires not only benefits your team and allows them to play aggressive, it also forces the other team to have to make a really quick decision. And a lot of the times in Overwatch, there's no guarantee that quick decision they'll make in Overwatch is going to be the right one, right? It might be like, oh, I run into the team. So their tank runs into the team, and then the rest of the team backs up. Now you have a 5v4. So, like, I talk about it a lot where being proactive with your Kiriko ultimate benefits your whole team. And sometimes when you have ults, it becomes... Sometimes you think more about how it will benefit you when it can benefit your whole team. An example of an ultimate that I think is more of, like, an ult that will benefit you, like Reaper ult, right? Like, you can help your teammates. Like, you could technically sit in the back line and do nothing and just Reaper ult when they dive your teammate. But, like, a lot of the time as Reaper ult, you're going to use that kind of when you think it's the best time, right? Bat ult's kind of in the in-between in that one, but, like, you know what I mean? So, how do you use your Zen ult effectively? You take one damage and then pop it, and then go, whoops, I shouldn't have Zen ulted here. That's generally when I see it being used. All right, let's head back to Kiriko here. They're in gold 5. I will say, your Kiriko's been fine. Like, I think you've been playing Kiriko just fine. So I'm really curious as to what makes you swap off of Kiriko here. Because, like, I don't see an issue where, like, go on the cart, obviously. But, like, I don't see an issue where I'm like, oh, you need to get off Kiriko, this will help. Like, so far, this has more been, like, your teammates play aggressive. The one thing I will say, use your Kitsune more often. I want to see you use it aggressively. Alright, here we go. Kitsune. 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 Okay, you should have done that sooner, but I'm happy you used it. Chad knows how we feel about that. It's an aggressive ultimate. It helps your teammates. It's good to have. It helps your teammates. Kitsune is always a good ultimate to have and use. Okay? Look at that. Perfect. Nice half. Good job. What did you think about that half? Me? All right, welcome to the Overwatch Spectating All Right So halftime show. This is where we're going to talk about what we just saw in that first half. We saw a Kiriko who played fairly well but didn't want to use their Kitsune. Obviously, going into the next round here, we're going to want to see them use that Kitsune a little bit more. I don't know what team this is. I'm just kind of pointing towards some of the ultimates. One thing we really do want to see is a little bit more of that Kitsune usage. Now, will they change heroes? We're going to find out, but so far it's been a pretty good half, I'd say. Outside of that, I'm really excited to see what happens in the second half of Junkertown, where we have at least another 10 or 12 minutes of this, so I hope you enjoy. And back to you. Me. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. What a halftime show we just had. Let's find out here. Why'd you go Brig? Wait, whoa. Why'd you go Brig? What happened? What happened in halftime that you went Brig? You were playing fine. Wait, no. Why? You just finished it with 57 seconds. Wait, then what the? Oh, Ana now. Okay, well, there goes that. Well, I hope you learned a lot on Brig. Just go Kiriko. You were fine on Kiriko. What did I miss here? What happened? You said that was unlucky? I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. This Ana just peeked a window trying to look down here while essentially just not even paying attention to the main. Like, you're gonna get rolled. You have two options. You go bottom left door, honestly, not recommended at this point. You go bottom right door and you just take this angle, gives you a little bit of sight line. Like, you can actually use this sight line here to kind of get rid of some of that. It forces the Widow to have to push this way. Helps a little bit. Don't like just wide peek the window. If they don't have a Widow there, a little bit different, but they have a Widow and a Hanzo, so it's not gonna go well. You think somebody told him to get off Kiriko? But why? There was nothing that I saw on Kiriko that really, like, felt like you were playing Kiriko terribly. They have walls now. Position in. Walls. Just hide. Don't over peek. They have, just. Remember, they have walls. So in that situation, when you make that peek, you can get rolled. Kill your teammate. Positioning. You're all over the place now. Just set up in a spot with an advantageous angle. Oh, Zen now. Okay, sweet. We're just going through the whole rotation. I don't know what happened. Just go Kiriko. I think we need to go to a quick sideline report from me. We're going to take a look over here at the current forecast of this game right here, and you can see what in the world did I just watch. Back to you, me. Thank you for that sideline report. What is going on? You just go back Kiriko. You actually asked the question, should you have stayed on Kiriko or stayed on one of the heroes? Yes, stay on Kiriko. You're running at them in a straight line, and you're getting rolled. When you were on Kiriko, positioning was solid, you were playing well. Like, I don't know what happened. Positioning. Focus on your positioning. You're not a tank. Well, you're on Zenyatta, so you're kind of a tank now. But, like, focus on your positioning. Look at what you're doing. Look where you are. I want you to see. You're in the middle of the open. You have now walked into a Ramattra backwards. You now have put yourself in one of the worst spots you can be. Actually, the Ramattra now has, because they didn't push in with that. I'm okay with that Zen ult. Stay out of the range of the Ramattra, though. It will still attach to the Zenyatta and give them credit for being on you. Heal your teammate to your left, to your left, to your left, to your left. Right there. Perfect. They went to your right by the time you were able to heal them. Spare time. Thanks for getting this up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, I need to pause for a second because, like, this is something that we need to talk about a little bit to try to kind of help you improve here. Do you see how you're kind of spinning around in circles and you don't know what you want to do, where you want to go? Should you go over here? Should you help with the Ramattra? Should you do this? And this is why I always talk about working on your position. And let me explain why. When you just start off in a good spot, just start right here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Start right here, kind of around where your Mei is. Just stay right here. And then give it a second. Let the play happen and see what's going to happen and then make a decision. Don't just go in there and start blasting. Because that's exactly what you just did. You went in there and you started blasting, okay? So, like, what you're doing is you don't know what you want to go to. That's why the first step, just put yourself in a good position on the map. When that happens, you have a lot less you have to think about. It's one of those things where, what is going to be a lot easier when you have to think about 20 different things that are happening on your screen or one thing, two things, okay? Just wait. Be patient for a second. Give it time to figure out where you want to go, and then you can make that aggressive play or go forward. But you're just coming back and going right into the team fight. So just be patient a little bit. Start off in a good position. This is on any of the heroes you've played. Ana, Zen, Brig, Reinhardt. I think you've played the whole hero roster at this point. Just play it like very patient to start, and then go from there. Okay? Don't bash in right away. Well, bash in now, you have to. But, like, my point is, you've been... Okay. Back up. You don't need to push into him at that point. You're on your side of the spawn. Okay. What happened that you switched hero so much? You were on Kiriko. You played a really good Kiriko. Back on Kiriko. Is it because you don't want to play Kiriko on defense? I have some good news for you. You can play Kiriko on defense. 100%. If you're under the impression you can't play Kiriko on defense, I have good news. You can play Kiriko on defense.
Carried on the wind.
Escort the payload.
Under my protection.
This is interesting. Your tank is in their back line, and their tank's in your back line. Who wins? Your team, because your team backed up. I think, at least. You're playing Kiriko much better. Look at your positioning. Now, you know what you were doing the equivalent of? You were doing the equivalent of playing the other heroes, but like where your Winston is right now. And then wondering why you kept going back to spawn. You're in a tough spot. Yeah, I was gonna say you're in a tough spot. Your teammate's too far. If you go into him, you're gonna get rolled. That's tough. All right, let's see if you can hold on defense. What's your hero to start? I don't mind this pick, but I do want to once again point out to you. You can play Kiriko on defense.
No holding back. Let's move.
You said that's a unique pylon location? I mean, I can tell you why it's there. Here, I'll tell you why. The reason why the pylon location's here, because I've noticed it in a lot of ranks, players play here. So that's just a spot that, like, normally you put that there because that's what your teammates are playing. Top 500 games, the setup is more back here and around here, this area. But I understand why. Like, I know why that's there. Is because in a lot of ranks, players play here. This is the start. So, like, for a location of a pylon for where a lot of teams do play when I watch Junkertown, it makes sense. That's why. Every rank kind of has different spots they play at as you climb. Like I said, as you climb, you'll notice in ranks, players will play more of the map advantage and, like, the angles more than just, like, we're going to play close as we can to the cart. But that's why it was there. This is gold 5. Oh, wait, I want to point out your positioning's a little bit better right now. Like, just don't over-peek and wide-peek it. You're in a good spot. Don't over-peek and wide-peek. Just play an angle. You're not a tank. Don't do this. Don't wide-peek it. Just keep your teammates alive for a second. Your damage output will happen when the Winston goes in aggressively. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's happening. Your positioning. It's now, uh-oh. Oh, it's happening. Is that why in Blizzard World, like, GM starts behind the statue? Yeah, we don't even, like, play. In GM games, you don't even normally play the statue. You either play on the high ground above to spam towards the statue, or you play in the point, yeah. But on, like, a lot of ranks on Blizzard World, players play right at that choke. Reason why is because once you lose that choke, you basically can't hold the point anymore. You have to have, like, an amazing retake, or the other team has to, like, really heck up. So you basically minimize how many times you can retake or get picked. So you also minimize how many team fights happen. So, on to Lucio now. Alright, so we're going to talk about this because this is an easy answer to you. This is an easy answer. Okay, you would ask the question. Should I have stayed on a hero? Should I have swapped as much? Were you the problem? Or was it a combination of all of us? It was kind of all of this in one discussion. You didn't need to swap off of Kiriko. I thought your Kiriko was just fine. I don't know why you swapped off Kiriko. Maybe I missed a little bit of context to that. Oh, I see. I didn't know who to play best to support our tank against their snipers. You were fine on Kiriko. Kiriko was a totally fine hero. If you watch it, when you watch this VOD back, you'll see your attack and you'll see your defense. Kiriko was fine. Now, next step of this. If you play other heroes, you need to focus on your positioning. So start with, like, very basic position in the sense of start in the back, give the team fight just a second to settle, see where everything is, be in good sight lines, make it hard for the team to see you or get to you. If you're going to play aggressive, hide behind a wall, peek around a wall. Start that way. Very, like, basic strategy to that, and then you improve on that. But right now, don't do what you're doing on any of those heroes we saw before. You were playing way too aggro, and you got lost kind of in the middle of all the team fights. Kiriko, you played well. I would have stayed on Kiriko. I think you were fine on Kiriko, and actually Kiriko can help against snipers because you can damage them across the map. You won't one-shot them, but that crit damage alone makes them have to hide. And if they decide to re-peek the same spot, back to spawn they go, and less of back and spawn you go. So yeah, work on that. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, sub to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. Like I've been saying, the 3rd channel has rank games on there now, so if you want to watch our rank games, go sub to the 3rd channel. Sub to all the YouTubes if you haven't, though. A lot of awesome stuff on there. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. Is my Discord. Join my Discord. That's where you would submit spectating. Also, follow everything there, because if you follow everything in there, you'd be like, wow, I followed them on that stuff. All right? We record these live on stream. See the Twitch chat right there. Stop by. We have a good time here. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day/night.